I appreciated everybody telling their stories. I also appreciated this 2-minute rant from Tom Brady last night talking about the importance of football.
Whatever makes them happy makes me happy. I would encourage everyone to play football for the simple reason that it is hard. It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach, and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts in 2 days. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard. No matter who you are, there are bumps and hits and bruises along the way. And my advice is to prepare yourself, because football lessons teach us that success and achievement come from overcoming adversity, and that team accomplishment far exceeds anyone's individual goals. To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts. If you look at all my teammates here tonight, it would be impossible to find better examples of men who embody that work ethic, integrity, purpose, determination, and discipline that it takes to be a champion in life.
Now, there's a chance, and Connor's the one that said this, when he's doing that speech, he's potentially fighting back emotions as he's describing his teammates, which is why he's delivering it in the fashion that he is. But what did you hear there? What a perfect depiction of the sport of football and also the reality of what hard work brings.
Yeah, I mean, really what he talked about is leadership, right? Everybody thinks leadership is about some guy, some man or woman getting people to listen to them. No, it's about creating a following. It's about creating a sense of belonging. And through a sense of belonging, you create a team. And what Tom was so eloquently saying is everything that I believe, and it's what I stand on my soapbox and preach about. It's about the team, the team, the team. It's about how do we make amateurs, young men and women, and turn them into professionals? How do we make somebody understand how important it is to work together to a collective cause? We lost a great, great executive, a great West Virginian from Cabot Creek down there in West Virginia, Jerry West, recently. This is all he talked about. He won one title in 1972, but he relished in all the ones he won as an executive. He knew it was a team sport. He couldn't get over losing. Even as great as he was the logo, and he couldn't get over the losing. It caused him craziness in the offseason because it was all about winning titles. And I think ultimately that's what Brady understood and recognized. It's about how do we become professionals? How do we keep working hard? I think this is why Kansas City's been able to win 2 Super Bowls, because Mahomes gets it, Andy Reid gets it. You know, there's no easy road to success. It's ups and downs, it's bumps. You know, Luke Combs didn't become Luke Combs because he just decided to write a song one day. He had to go through the struggles and the trials and tribulations of all the things. And that's where we learn it. There's a difference between having experience and having expertise. Experience builds you for the moment. Expertise takes you through the moment. And I think that's what was a reflection of what we saw last night. And every player understood it was us, not one person.
I appreciate everything that Tom and you are kind of laying out here, because there is a real fear. And I don't know if it's by a lot of people or by just some people who have been a part of team sports their entire life, that the modern generation that is currently going to be going through professional athleticism here in a while has no idea about just like the team mantra because they're living in a society that is promoting them as one. I mean, you got kids picking hats off a table that are being seen by millions of people to commit to college. These dudes haven't done anything in college at all, let alone the NIL money where people are getting paid to go play at schools. And then they might not even play a single down, make a couple $100,000. They think they got to figure it out. Well, what do I need to do next? Well, not get better at football so I can play on this team. No, I need to go hunt a check somewhere else. Where does the adversity come in where they can callous themselves and their egos and get a little humble and buy into a team? There is a genuine worry that it's not going to exist anymore, especially in a sport like football where you need it. So the fact that that's kind of become Tom Brady's mantra, and that's like kind of his entire thing. And I assume when he's commentating on games, that's going to shine through. But hard work and team are kind of everything that Tom Brady's been preaching since he is retired. And I think if you think about the Tom Brady experience whenever he was playing, he's handsome, he's hateable, he's dating a supermodel, he's married to a supermodel, he's got all these deals, he's eating this weird shit. Like I think a lot of people think he's like prima donna guy. And then he comes out, and you got a lot of people that have hated Tom Brady for a long time, and they hear him speak, are like, oh, this guy's kind of like old school. He's like old school. He's like a humble old school guy. I mean, I kind of like this Tom Brady. It's weird, but I appreciate that this is his messaging because people will listen to the greatest of all time. Like when he did that Fanatics meal out in California during the rookie thing, and his entire message was like, if your team has success, you will have success. Like that was his entire goal, was to get through these young guys' head. I love that that's what he's doing, Lombo. I love it's good for sport. It's good for society as well.
Well, there's a new book out by Jonathan Hyatt, who wrote it. He's a professor at NYU, called The Anxious Generation, and he touches on a lot of these in his book. And what we're dealing with today is a lot of young men and women who come from what we call a phone call generation, a phone generation. Whereas you and I, when you were in Plum, Pennsylvania, and I grew up here in Ocean City, we're from a playground generation. So we went to the playground after school, got our clothes beat up, got dirty, made our moms mad, had our lunch stolen, got in a fight with a bully. We learned all that. Today, it's more about the phone, right? Okay, drank beer in somebody's basement. We did all those things, right? Yeah. But I think what we as leaders, and I go back to Billy Joel wrote a song called We Didn't Start the Fire, and it's about his life and all the trials and tribulations he went through. So today, leadership just takes on a different form. People still want to win. People still want to be successful at what they do. Just because they're on their phones all the time doesn't mean it doesn't want to happen. You as a leader have to transcend that. You have to create a following based on how you're going to help and how you're going to connect. And Brady's messaging is powerful because he's lived it. No one's going to win a title. Look, Jim Harbaugh worked the Michigan team as hard as they could. They won, right? The UConn, Connecticut, if you watch their practices with Danny Hurley, they're hard. The Chiefs practices, they're hard, right? Brady talks about hard. Hey, getting anything in life is hard. Nobody's giving you out. Look, the thing I've learned in my life, I don't know if this is common or not, but they don't give away free homes in Beverly Hills. They just don't give away free homes in Beverly Hills. You got to buy one and earn one. And I think that's the messaging that has to come across, and Brady's going to be a spokesman for that. But let's not make any mistake about this. The team that wins a Super Bowl, wins a title, will be the one that works hard, that overcomes obstacles during their season. It's never going to change. That formula will never change, no matter how many people from the outside tell us, well, if you get in this personnel group, you're going to win. No, it's going to take a collective group of men and women to win a title.
Yeah, and it's not just football to win a game. It's like anything in life you got to work your ass off for if you want to be successful. And I think that gets lost in the social media generation because you're seeing some people who are maybe born on third base, thought they hit a triple, acting like they figured it all out, and they just got all the nice things. It's like, nah. That is for a very small percentage of human beings who happen to be from the lucky sperm club who get a chance at a nice life over none of their own work. For everybody else, you're going to have to work your ass off. And that was seemingly the message from Tom last night on the biggest night that he's had on a microphone since retirement. The roast had a little different vibe.
A little bit, definitely.
Bill Burr filled in for that, though.
Thank God.
Bill Burr filled in for that and did his thing.